Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Bosk is an interesting game. This is a game that's in the line of those nature games that were coming out. It's all the rage after photosynthesis. To have trees and leaves. There's a game called Upkeep about raking leaves in your yard. It was all the rage for a while. I think they appeal to a lot of people. People understand them. You know, grandma goes to the store, it doesn't have orcs on it, it looks appealing. You can get people to play who probably wouldn't play games. I think they probably sold very well. The problem was they became so convoluted, it was kind of hard to know which game you were buying unless you were really into it. Oh, this kind of looks like photosynthesis, I'll get Bosk. And it's a very different game. Bosk is a abstract game hiding with a razor thin of these leaves. For some reason, you're going to be planting trees and those leaves will fall off. It's kind of two phases to the game, if you will, or four mini games. But the leaves are going to fall off and you're going to score for columns and rows because it's abstract, right? Because the thing doesn't make any sense. And then you're going to kind of position those in order to score more points. It kind of left me wanting. It was like an abstract game, but it had this theme on it. I really came to the party for the theme, and the theme wasn't really there for me. And the game was okay. I could see people liking this. It's just not a style of game that attracts me, this abstract kind of scoring mechanism as you're going through. It's also hard to plan from turn to turn because the wind was changing things up. I felt like I didn't have enough control for what I just saw as a bland abstract. And it left me kind of hollow inside about the game. The decisions were fine, but with that lack of control, I never felt like my decisions were relating to what I was scoring always. Maybe 75-80% of that. When a game like this, I want to be in total control of what I'm doing. It's not like a battler game where we're chucking dice and hoping things work out. We're playing percentages. And in an abstract game like this, I want it to be control, and I want it to be my decisions that win or lose the game for me. Otherwise, if this sounds interesting to you and you really like the theme, even though it's razor thin, maybe you'll be pulled into a game of this. I think I'm in the minority on this one. I think this was a little bit more popular. I'd rather play something like photosynthesis, to be honest. This isn't one that was very appealing to me, so it'll be a purge. Here is Bosk and Falling Leaves, the Floodgate game. Pretty attractive cover, actually. I like the lighting and stuff on the artwork is very, very good. Gonna get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. We're going to get a scoring track. You can see that kind of goes down through here. So one as we go across, then across, and then across. You're going to get a double-sided board. So for 3 or 4 players, you'll play on the side with the smaller squares. For a 2-player game, you'll play with the one with the bigger squares. You're going to get this little wind tracker, which is pretty nice. It tells you the direction of the wind. And then everybody's going to get... This is pretty nice. This comes out. You're ready to go. You're ready to play. You're going to have your little trees. There's your cardboard you put together. You're going to have your big leafy leaves, and you're going to have your little squirrels and your little items here that look like leaves. So for setup, this is easy. Boom, boom, boom. All right, everybody's ready to play. Ready to play the game. That's it. So setup is very easy. The components are good. These trees look fantastic on the board. These that you'll be using to put these out look wonderful. My version come with like 2 squirrels. One has like silkscreen on it, looks pretty nice, and these little leaves here on the board look fantastic. So the components are really, really good. Here's the rule book. You see a picture of the cover. You're going to hear a little bit of an overview and setup. You got full pictures here. It tells you the difference between the player counts and how a gameplay overview here. A little bit of text here across the bottom and a little video if you want. It doesn't have a QR code, but it does give you a webpage link. And this will be the spring, summer, how you score in that area. The autumn, falling leaves, how that activates. Some decisions that might need to be made during the game, how to activate that, the squirrel. Once again, how to score at the end of the game. Pretty easy to do. No problems. If you want quick setup, scoring, you want all right here on the back. Very good rule book. Probably need about 15 minutes to read through this. It really wasn't that long. This is the part right here you'll need to slow down a little bit and kind of look, okay, the leaf placement, how do you cover the leaves and the squirrels. Once you get that down, the scoring is fairly easy to do. I'm going to show you the 2-player side of the board because it's easier for me to do. Everybody's going to do is they're going to take turns putting their trees out. Your trees have 1, 2, 3, or 4 on it, and they kind of go on the crosshairs. They don't go in the middle of a square. They're going to go on the crosshairs here, and you can pretty much put these wherever you want. Now, strategically, there'll be reasons why you'll put these out in certain spots, which we'll go over in a minute, but you definitely just kind of put these out on these spots, and we'll do that now. Okay, so this is going to be what they call the spring start of the phase. We're going to put your trees out, and the players will take turns doing that. They're going to go through every column and every row and score it. It doesn't matter how many trees you have, it's the addition of the numbers. So on this column, I have 2 plus 1 is 3, so my power would be 3. In this column, whoever has the most there will score, and there's going to be a little thing here that will tell you. So first place will get 2 points, second place will get 1. If there's ties or something, it's all included in here. So you're going to go through every column, score it based on the power, and this will be called the summer phase, and then you'll go through each row and make sure everything is scored up, and you'll have your handy-dandy scoring sheet to do that. So for example, I'll give you one more example. This is a 3, and of course the yellow has a 7 power here, and purple has 1. So 7 is going to get the 2 points, and purple is going to get the 1 point. Same thing this way. He's going to have 1 here. 2 is 3, but purple has a 4 here. So for this row, purple is actually going to score 2 points, and yellow will score just the 1. So once you're done scoring that up, whoever's the fewest amount of points will put this tracker out on the board on any of the 4 sides that they want to. So that will be out. Then, whoever is the first player will play one of these. They can choose from what they have here. So let's say I want to choose this one. I would take 4 of my leaves. I'd place these on the board. So for the first round, if you look here on this, it has to be the 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, you have 2 of each. And then the last 4 rows, it can be any number that you want. And it will tell you which way the wind is blowing. So let's say the player placed it this way. I would have 4 leaves to put out. It has to be a 1. So I'd find my 1 tree, which is 1 here. And I have 1 here. So I could pick either one of those that I wanted to. So let's just say I pick this one. And the wind's going this way because that's what it shows right there. I could place 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then it would be the purple's one to do so. Now the purple will take their 1 and go over it. Here's a couple caveats. If you want to replace one that I already have on the board, that's fine. It would just cost you 1 additional leaf. So it'll cost you 2 to go onto this spot, where normally a blank space would only cost you 1. Once that is done, then since we're in the second row, it's going to move around the board to the next spot. Be only activating trees with a number 2 on it, and the wind will be blowing this way. So everybody will do that until all 8 trees have been utilized. When you utilize a tree, it comes off the board and only the leaves remain. Once all the trees are off the board, you're ready to score up. Let me show you a couple examples of how that could be. If you decide to use your squirrel leaf, that's fine. You can put the squirrel out. The squirrel has to be 3 spaces away from the tree, maximum. It could be 1, 2, 3, or 0. And it can go on top of any one. It doesn't matter if it's yours or mine, but he kind of owns that spot. Nobody else can go there. So let's say at the end of the game, this is an example over here. You look at each of these spots, and you're going to score it. So whoever has first place will get 5 points. Whoever has second place will get 3 points. And there's some examples here for its tie. So green has the most here. They're going to get 5 points because nobody else is here also. They're actually going to get the second place too, which would be 8. So look here in the blue spot. It looks like this is different than this. So yellow's going to have 2, purple's going to have 1, yellow will get 5, and they get 3. And you do that for each of the areas. Add that to your score. Whoever ends up with the most points is the winner of the game. Who should buy this game? This is where the oddity comes in sometimes with these Purge or Keep kind of reviews. While this is a Purge for me, it's what I'm going to recommend for you, perhaps. This is going to be a light area control kind of abstract-y game with a tree leaves kind of theme put onto it. If you find that appealing, then this is what I would definitely tell you to try out. It's very niche-y to me. It's very in that world, like, if you like this, and this, and this, and you're in that Venn diagram, then this is for you. So I'm going to leave it there. For me, it's going to be a Purge.